Sri Lanka, a teardrop-shaped island in the Indian Ocean, is a place where civilization and nature have long existed in a harmonious embrace. Known throughout history as Ceylon, this island has been a crossroads of culture, a kingdom of great dynasties, a hub of global trade, and a sanctuary of stunning natural beauty. To journey through Sri Lanka is to step into a living tapestry, where ancient temples rise among lush jungles, where the sea whispers stories of explorers and merchants, and where the land itself seems infused with spirituality. The story of Sri Lanka's civilization begins thousands of years ago. Archaeological evidence reveals that humans have lived on this island for over 30,000 years, with early settlements thriving along its rivers and fertile plains. By the 6th century BCE, Indo-Aryan migrants from northern India laid the foundations of Sinhalese civilization, bringing with them agriculture, governance, and elements of Hindu and Buddhist culture. Over time, these influences merged into a uniquely Sri Lankan identity that blossomed into kingdoms and empires of remarkable sophistication. One of the defining chapters of Sri Lanka's civilization is the rise of Buddhism. In the 3rd century BCE, King Devanampiya Tissa embraced Buddhism after the arrival of Mahinda, the son of Emperor Ashoka of India. From that moment, Buddhism became the spiritual and cultural backbone of Sri Lanka, shaping its art, architecture, philosophy, and way of life. The ancient city of Anuradhapura, which flourished from the 4th century BCE to the 11th century CE, stands as a testament to this transformation. Anuradhapura was not merely a capital, it was a sacred city where colossal stupas rose skyward, where monasteries housed thousands of monks, and where irrigation systems turned dry plains into thriving rice fields. The Sri Maha Bodhi tree, grown from a cutting of the original Bodhi tree under which the Buddha attained enlightenment, remains one of the most venerated sites in Buddhism, a living link to spiritual history that still attracts pilgrims from around the world. As centuries passed, Sri Lanka's civilization shifted southward to Polonnaruwa, another great capital that flourished between the 11th and 13th centuries. Polonnaruwa dazzles visitors with its monumental ruins, statues of kings carved into rock, vast reservoirs called tanks that reveal the advanced hydraulic engineering of the time, and the serene Gal Vihara, where colossal stone Buddhas rest in meditation and repose. This era highlights not only the grandeur of royal ambition but also the genius of Sri Lanka's relationship with water, a resource carefully harnessed to sustain agriculture and communities across the island. Civilization in Sri Lanka was never static, it was dynamic, resilient, and deeply intertwined with outside influences. The island lay on the maritime Silk Road, attracting traders from Arabia, Persia, China, and later Portugal, the Netherlands, and Britain. Cinnamon, gems, and elephants were prized exports, while foreign cultures left imprints on architecture, language, and cuisine. Coastal cities like Gal still bear the legacy of European fortresses, while inland temples and palaces remind us of an unbroken continuity of local traditions. Amid this history, one monument rises above all as a symbol of Sri Lanka's fusion of civilization and nature, Sigiriya, the Lion Rock. Rising nearly 200 meters from the central plains, this massive rock fortress was transformed in the 5th century CE by King Kashyapa into a dazzling royal citadel. The remains of palaces, gardens, and frescoes reveal a kingdom that sought to unite human ambition with natural majesty. The water gardens at Sigiriya, fed by ingenious hydraulic systems, demonstrate both artistry and engineering brilliance, while the frescoes of celestial maidens offer a glimpse into the aesthetic refinement of the age. Today, climbing Sigiriya is more than an adventure, it is a journey into the very heart of Sri Lanka's civilization. But Sri Lanka's story is not only about its civilization, it is equally about its natural beauty. This island, despite its modest size, contains an astonishing variety of landscapes. Golden beaches stretch along its coasts, misty mountains rise in the central highlands, rainforests teem with life, and vast national parks protect some of the most diverse wildlife in Asia. The Central Highlands, dominated by tea plantations and rolling hills, are often described as Sri Lanka's Emerald Heart. like Nuwara Eliya and Ella, one can see how British colonial influences blended with the island's natural riches. Tea, introduced in the 19th century, became both an economic backbone and a scenic treasure, covering hillsides with endless green terraces. Amid this landscape, waterfalls tumble from cliffs, and cool mists create an atmosphere of dreamlike serenity. The highlands are not just beautiful, they are living reminders of how nature and human endeavor shape each other. Venturing into the wilderness, Sri Lanka reveals another facet of its natural splendor, its wildlife. Yala National Park, perhaps the most famous, is home to leopards, elephants, crocodiles, and an incredible array of birdlife. Uduala National Park offers close encounters with herds of wild elephants, while Wolpata National Park enchants with its forested lakes and elusive creatures. These parks underscore Sri Lanka's role as a biodiversity hotspot, where conservation and natural wonder walk hand in hand. The coasts of Sri Lanka are equally enchanting. In the south, Mirisa and Unawatuna welcome travelers with golden sands, turquoise waters, and the chance to see blue whales, the largest animals on Earth. Along the east coast, Trincomalee's natural harbor has been prized for centuries, while nearby beaches offer peace and beauty far from the crowds. To the west, Negombo and Colombo show how the sea connects with vibrant urban life, blending tradition with modernity. Yet perhaps nowhere does Sri Lanka's natural beauty intertwine more profoundly with its culture than in its sacred mountains. Adams Peak, known locally as Sri Pada, is a pilgrimage site for Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims, and Christians alike. At its summit lies a footprint-shaped mark, revered by different faiths as belonging to the Buddha, Shiva, Adam, or Saint Thomas. Pilgrims climb the peak through the night, reaching the summit at dawn to witness a sunrise that bathes the land in golden light. This mountain embodies the unity of spirituality, nature, and human devotion, a theme that resonates throughout the island's history. Sri Lanka's civilization is also preserved in its living traditions. Festivals like Vesak, celebrating the birth, enlightenment, and death of the Buddha, transform towns and villages into glowing seas of lanterns. The Kandi Esila Parahira, with its parades of elephants, dancers, drummers, and sacred relics, connects the present with centuries of ritual and reverence. These cultural celebrations are not staged performances, they are vital expressions of identity, binding communities through shared heritage. Cuisine, too, is a reflection of Sri Lanka's dual gifts of civilization and nature. Fragrant curries made with coconut milk, seafood fresh from the ocean, rice and hoppers, and sweets flavored with jaggery and spices tell stories of abundance and cultural exchange. Cinnamon, once guarded as a royal monopoly, made Sri Lanka famous across the world, while today, its cuisine blends ancient recipes with global influences brought by centuries of contact. Modern Sri Lanka, with its bustling capital of Colombo, its universities, and its emerging industries, continues to balance tradition with progress. Skyscrapers rise beside colonial buildings, and technology connects the island with the wider world. Yet amid this modernity, the values of family, faith, and respect for the land remain strong. Sri Lanka is not a place where the past is forgotten, it is a place where history lives, where every temple, forest, and marketplace whispers continuity. To journey through Sri Lanka is to encounter contrasts that feel like compliments, ancient stupas beside jungle sanctuaries, bustling markets beside tranquil beaches, monumental ruins beside fields of lotus. It is a country where civilization has always adapted, absorbed, and flourished, yet never lost its essence. It is also a country where nature has remained not just scenery but a partner in shaping the lives, beliefs, and spirit of its people. In the end, Sri Lanka's charm lies in this inseparability. Its civilization cannot be understood without its landscapes, and its natural beauty cannot be fully appreciated without its cultural depth. Together, they form a unity that is rare and unforgettable. Whether walking among the ruins of Anuradhapura, gazing at the frescoes of Sigiriya, watching elephants bathe in a river, or standing on a mountain summit as the sun rises, one feels the same truth: Sri Lanka is more than an island. It is a timeless world where humanity and nature, past and present, earth and spirit, meet in harmony.